Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fragrance Banter podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Steve.
And we're just two friends talking about our biggest letdown in fragrances and catching up, having fun, trying to keep each other accountable.
Yeah, it's been, 2 weeks? We spoke a little bit, the odd message here and there, but we've not spoken properly for a couple of weeks since the last record, really, because I've been away, haven't I? So we had a little chat beforehand, before we started recording, but how have you been?
Yeah, not too bad. This is one of the telltale signs that we're just not best friends yet, Steve, because best friends wouldn't have gone 2 weeks without really connecting.
Well, yeah. Well, my other sort of best friend, who also doesn't want to be my best friend, but kind of is, we spoke a little bit while I was on holiday, but similar amounts to you. But in line with that, any regular listeners will know that I've started this thing where every week I ask Mike a question to get to know him better, to see how easy we can be best friends, how compatible we are, just to get to know him. And some of these questions, they're quite nuanced, they're quite silly, they're not going to change the world, they're not asking about his hopes, dreams and beliefs or any of that bollocks, but it's splitting the community. They do divide them. In the Patreon this week, I've had people coming at me my answer to where you store ketchup. So yeah, I'm scared to do it this week, but I have got one. I've kept it really simple this week. I am concerned that I do think we're going to differ on this one as well, but this is a nice, simple question. Peanut butter, smooth or crunchy?
Oh, it is crunchy all day long.
I knew you'd be a crunchy guy. I knew it. I knew you would be. I'm a smooth guy. A smooth guy. But this is why we work. This is why the yin and the yang.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I am smooth. I was trying to think, because most people, I think more people are crunchy than smooth. I don't know what the statistics are on this, but I think I remember the first time I ever tried peanut butter, and it was around a friend's house when I was a kid. I don't know how old I was, like 4, 5, 6, I don't know, that sort of touch. And I was round a friend's house who lived in the same street as me, and their mum gave us peanut butter on toast, and it was smooth. It was my first ever experience.
Okay.
And I think because the first one I tried was smooth, I just stuck to it. You know, it resonated. I was like, this is delicious. I think they put butter on it as well, and it was just the most delicious thing on toast. And I loved it. So then when I tried crunchy, it was like, it was too...
Felt wrong.
The texture, it felt wrong. I tried the smooth, I stuck with smooth, and I've been committed to smooth ever since. So I think that was it. I think perhaps if I tried crunchy first, I would be a crunchy man. But
yeah, it's kind of like when you're dating and you have your first love, and then after that kind of develops what your preferences are for a partner, I feel like.
Yeah, probably. You've got a reference point. So yeah, that makes sense. So unless that partner tries to kill you, or you're going to try and have anaphylactic shock with the peanuts, you're probably going to stick to,
right. Yeah,
you're always going to be a blonde man or a brunette man or whatever your preference. So yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember my first time with peanut butter.
I thought you should say blondes or brunettes. It's like, you don't remember your first peanut butter, that's fine.
Yeah, but I think getting older, I start to value texture more than just flavor alone.
Okay, fair. I was going to make a joke. I wonder if your dog remembers the first time you had peanut butter.
No, I'd be worried it would get too crunchy. You know what I mean?
Laughing away at the nuts. There we go. Nice innuendo. Right, I suppose. So what are we talking about today, Mike? So you did imply what we were talking about. So today we're talking about disappointments, aren't we?
Yeah, I have picked out the single greatest disappointment in a fragrance I've experienced while exploring this hobby. There's been, I'm sure there's been countless times you've blind bought something and you were expecting one thing, and then it just kind of turned out to not be as good as you thought. But this one that I specifically picked, I had the highest hopes with it, and I had the biggest letdown with it. So it is like, crushing to me, this fragrance was.
Wow. I mean, so I do not know. So Mike and I have not told each other what we've picked. So I've got two in mind. There's a main one, but I'm going to throw another one in there. And I've just thought, what I will say, the very first time I smelt Aventus, I was a bit disappointed, I'm going to say.
Really?
As well, actually. Yeah, I was. The very first time, I think I'd got into sort of fragrances. I was probably still more of a designer boy, probably still am. Mm-hmm. And everybody was, I was into this community and everybody's talking about Aventus, the king and Aventus and all this. And I remember I went into a department store to smell it. And actually, I had all this hype from the community. And there was also like an attractive lady on Instagram had put how her bloke wore Aventus and it's the most amazing smell. And I was like, this is it. Women are going to find me attractive. This is going to be the best smell. I was already thinking about, could I save up to pay for this? And before I'd even smelt it, I was like, I need to somehow get this fragrance. And I went into a department store and I smelt it and I was like, is that it? It was kind of like my first beer. I don't know if you ever remember your first beer. There's so much hype. You were like, hold on, and you drink it and you're like, hold on, this is what people chug? Like, what the fuck is this? You've got to power through. And it's, I was really disappointed with Aventus. I think it was probably too early in my journey, maybe. I was still a designer boy, still discovering stuff, and I couldn't fully appreciate the sort of complexity of it, really. I smelt it, I was just underwhelmed. And I didn't think it smelled bad by any means, but I just thought, I don't know, I was just a bit underwhelmed. I was just not this amazing fragrance, but now I can appreciate it more. And also, I know we've spoken about this fragrance 1,000,001 times, but smelling Insidious gives me a bigger indication of what the vintage Aventus, what it smelled like back in the day. And again, I remember the first time I smelled Insidious, I had a better appreciation for Aventus, like vintage Aventus, and what it must have been like when it came out, because it's just a lot more complex, a lot more going on with the balance, with the smokiness and the birch and the pineapple and all that. And now I can sort of appreciate it more. Now I've probably got a slightly more refined nose, but it's probably still not particularly refined.
Right. I think it was just because of the way it was framed. And, Ryan had showed me Aventus, and he had kind of built it up, and then he's smelling, he's hyped on it, because this was like the first real, we had to sit down. It was like, we had a beautiful scenery out there. We were in the park. We're sitting at a picnic table, like just smelling fragrances, like everyone does,
He proposed, and it just meant a lot to you.
Yes. He hit one knee and pulled out a sample of Aventus.
Pulled out the peanut butter.
That's it. Yeah. Smooth.
Yeah. Fair. I bet it was. Yeah. It was when he'd finished lapping it up. God, this is terrible. Yeah. No. I think if I'd smelt it on someone else, I think I probably would have appreciate it more just smelling it, because I think Aventus smells better on other people than me, but just spraying it straight on and smelling it on skin, I don't know, but anyway, let's not talk about Aventus because it's been spoken about a lot. But yeah, I'd say that was definitely one for me.
Well, mine is not Aventus, the one that I've selected.
Okay.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build it up a little bit.
Oh, I'm excited.
And the first thing I'll do is tell you what the notes are.
Okay. So do I know this fragrance? Do you know that I know this fragrance?
I bet you do. Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm going to see if I can name it from notes and things. I'll see if I can identify it before you reveal it.
All right. So it's musk, Atlas cedar, tonka bean, orange blossom, styrax, which I have no clue what that is, and vanilla.
Tonka, vanilla. It's not... No, I was going to say it's like not one of the Armani codes or something like that. Just thinking of the Tonka. No. Is it niche?
Yes.
Oh, probably no chance of thinking of what this is then. Don't know. I do love a bit of Tonka.
Yes, I do too. So I was excited about this fragrance.
Have you tried Tonkaholic? Side note.
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's a lovely fragrance. I keep thinking about buying it. If you like Tonkaholic is really nice.
Who's that from?
I need to check, actually. I smelt it for the first time the last time we went to Milan. I smelt it in a little niche store. It wasn't on one of the stands. It's S Strikes the Notes. It's got a really, again, if anybody's listening to this, just do an image search, Google search. You can do it now as well, Mike, if you want. Look at the bottle. The lid looks like a fucking sex toy.
Oh, I do remember this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys might have smelt it the first time you went to Essence. I know Chris Fragmental did.
Yeah.
Because he referenced it. But yeah, I smelt it. After the event, I went to a little niche fragrance store, met up with some people and stuff, and it was in there and I smelt it and I loved it. Really like Tonka. I really do. But so I'm really curious to find out what this fragrance is.
Well, now I'm going to give you the pros and cons from Fragrantica.
Okay.
And then I will read a review
Oh, God, I'm loving this.
And then I will reveal it, what it is.
Oh, this is good. I bet everybody's playing at home when they're listening to this. Go on then.
Okay. Pros are mystic, dark, and inviting fragrance.
Okay.
Easily unisex and wearable for cool spring days, fall and winter, which sounds like a Tonka fragrance.
Yeah.
Here's the cons. Not what some people expected based on the name or notes.
Oh, on the name or notes.
Not sweet enough for some gourmand lovers and may not be worth the price for some people.
I don't know what this could be. I honestly don't know. I mean, this could be... I really don't know what this could be.
Okay, well, here's the review, and then we'll do the crazy reveal.
Got it.
60th Summer of Love says this. Once again, coming to find out I do not like musk, and I do not like Tonka even more. What a gross opening. Dries to a nice powdery note. There isn't a lot going on, but still, I do not like the musk or the Tonka.
Sounds like if you don't like musk or Tonka, it sounded like this fragrance wasn't for them. But right. Musk is a funny one because it can sometimes be a bit animalic, can't it? It can be sort of clean, powdery, but sometimes it can go. And that, I think the Styrax, has sometimes animalic as well. So, okay. I'm really intrigued by this. It says we're not expecting from the name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just don't know. I'm so curious. I might not have even smelt this fragrance, but I think you might have to reveal.
Okay, I'm going to reveal it. And if you've been a listener from way back, you'll know as soon as I talk about this. This is Le Labo's Tonka 25.
Oh, yes. I do vaguely remember you talking about this once in an episode. Yes. I think I might have missed when you originally smelt it, but I think I heard another episode where you referenced how disappointed you were, how much you did not like that fragrance.
Yeah,
because at the time, I remember thinking I love Tonka, so I should smell it. But yeah, interesting.
On this one, we had just started getting into it, the fragrances in general. And so we're smelling some of these sweeter fragrances, and I'm going, I bet it, I don't know much, but I'm going, all these fragrances I like have Tonka bean. So I'm like, I must love Tonka bean. And so then Le Labo, I see this one from Le Labo, and I go, okay, I've got to check this thing out. And I order it, and it takes a while to get there. And then because I won't smell it until we do an episode, because I like the initial reaction, it sits there, and we wait and we wait and we wait until we finally do that episode. And I'd been waiting for weeks, maybe months at that point. I was getting so amped to smell this thing. And when I smelled it, it just smelled like urinal cake that somebody had pissed on. Like, the smell good things at the bottom of a urinal. That's what it smelled like. It smelled like some floral, like trying to cover someone, and just like the stinkiest piss.
For any ladies listening, so you know what a urinal is. It's the little thing that the guys pee in because we don't have to sit down. And then they sometimes put these, they're called cakes, but they're like these little spongy things in those to make it try and smell more fragrant, and so it doesn't stink of piss. So so it smelled like that. Wow. And now, have you smelt it since?
I smelled it maybe a few months later. And
it's still the same.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad because I hadn't been really hyped. I'd already been let down by it. And then later I was just like, yeah, it's not terrible, but I still am like, oh, it smells like pee to me.
See, now I really want to smell it. I'm literally writing it down now. I'm going to try and get a sample.
I want to smell it again too. You guys let us know. Should we do a review of this again?
Well, I think we should. We can always do.
It's got to have been at least a year and a half, maybe longer, since I've smelled it, because the last time I smelled it was with my friend Forbes, and he's been passed now for over a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying you'll love it or like it now, but I bet you'll probably have a slightly different appreciation for it.
Probably so.
You could probably be able to break it down a little bit more in your head and in your nose. And then again, I'm not saying you'll like it, but you'll probably be like, okay, I can see what they were doing. I can see why somebody might like this. Or interestingly, you'll probably be able to identify why you don't like it still, maybe as well. So before where it's just like, this smells bad to me, you might be able to go, okay, I think it's the musk is too strong or whatever. I suspect there might be, or you might think, oh, if there was more vanilla, it was a bit sweeter, that might take the edge off. I bet you could break it down a bit more now.
Okay.
Well, there's a challenge. I'm gonna see if I can get a sample of it, because I'm a little bit of a Lelabe fanboy. I say that I've not smelt all their fragrances, but the ones I've smelt I typically quite like. I do think they're very pricey, but we've already spoken about that. I obviously like Another 13. Bergamot 22 is good. Yeah. Santal 33, it's right. I just think it's overhyped. I think it's just not really my bag. So, but I don't think I've smelt Tonka 25. There's a department store in Cambridge near where I live, and they have lots of different niche stands, and there is a Lelabe stand in there. So I'll definitely go and smell it the next time I'm there, if I've not got a sample before then.
Let's do it.
I'm excited. Right. So I've sort of got two. And so the first one I'll go through a bit quicker, and then the second one I'll take my time a little bit. So the first one, I'm going to try and do what you did. So I'll give you the notes then. It's musk, saffron, ambroxan, and incense.
Okay.
Right. Pros and cons, I think, is what the order in which you did yours. Right, pros. Huge sillage with strong projection. It showcases saffron well. Silky suede and saffron provide a warm oriental touch.
Okay.
Great for special occasions. Spicy facet makes it daring and sexy. Cold weather treat, tranquil and chic, warm and elegant fragrance. Those are the pros.
Okay.
You got any ideas?
God, I mean, if it's highlighting saffron, the only one that really sticks to mind is either the X-Straight or the EDP of Baccarat Rouge.
Okay. Cons, not a safe blind buy. Monstrous performance may not be desirable for all-day wear. Heavy dose of saffron can make it leathery and dry smelling. Can give off a burned rubber or plastic smell. Overwhelming nuclear projection and tenacity. Too much ISOE and ambroxan can be harsh and give headaches. Linear scent may not appeal to everyone. Ambroxan in the base can be found in many cheap fragrances.
I'm trying to think of another saffron. God, unless it's crystal saffron.
And Amit Reyes says, smells like hospital and stuff.
You're probably not wrong. There's something to that. A dentist office, rubber gloves. I kind of hear that from saffron fragrances.
So the big reveal is, you're right, it was crystal saffron. I was so disappointed when I smelled that, because it was your recommendation. I was hyped. I bought a partial. I committed. I didn't even get a sample. I bought a partial bottle.
Oh, man.
And it was, again, it wasn't bad, but I was just, there was that real... it was a bit more smokier. Like the incense was a bit smokier than I was anticipating. Not that it's particularly smoky fragrance, but also there was it came across, even though iris isn't listed, I don't know if it's the saffron, but I really got that lipsticky iris type accord from it, which was really prominent to me. Yeah. I think when it dried down, it did balance out a little bit more. But for me, it was just not the one. I mean, it does have beastly performance. I will give it that. It was really fucking strong. Yeah,
I want to smell I think it's the X-Straight of it, because it's supposed to be more chill. And I love crystal saffron. I really do. But it is so loud. It's, to me, for what I like out of a fragrance, it's almost impossible to wear because it is so loud. So I'm like, maybe it being more dialed back with the X-Straight, I think I'd get more enjoyment out of. But that was one of the ones I was, when we do these fragrances, we look for ones that just are unique and feel different, feel like they've got a personality of their own. Like people smell it and they're going to go like, oh, I haven't smelled that before. We had gotten to a point when we were doing the Cologne podcast where we were really running into a wall. Everything kind of started to smell like something else we had smelled. And that was one of the ones that kind of hit us and was like, whoa, this is new. This is different. And it kind of excited me.
Now, I'll give you that. There's not much like it, though. That irisy, lipsticky vibe can be found in a lot of others. But I think I prefer the dry down more. Once it dried down, it did get a touch more sweet. It got a bit more sweeter, but probably not quite enough for me. I don't know. It was just very powdery. My wife wasn't a fan either. Perhaps that's another episode we should do, the X-Straight version, because I've not smelled that yet. So that should be worth doing.
I would love to smell that. we had kind of pointed out, typically when you have a good recommendation for me, Steve, I like it, but mine are hit or miss with you.
Yeah, Greenlee, I was initially disappointed, but yeah, I've since sort of revisited that, and as we've discussed, I've got a clone of it that I sort of quite enjoying now, to be fair. I wore it a few times on holiday and actually really enjoyed it. So Greenlee is a bit of a grower rather than a shower. Yours are a more hit and miss. But I'm just a bit safer because I'm a bit more of a basic bitch probably. So if I like something, it's probably just a bit of a safer option, to be fair.
Well, talk us through how the holiday fragrances went.
They went well. What I did find is a lot of these fresher ones, the performance, I mean, as I discussed, spraying it and then going to the pool, it doesn't really matter. It's going to get washed off or whatever anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But even in the evening, some of the ones, the performance wasn't great in that heat. They just burnt off quite quickly. I'd say the Greenlee clone from Pocket Scents, that performed well. I was really enjoying that. I wore that 2 nights. I think I wore that one out in the evening, and I really enjoyed it. I could still smell that throughout the evening. I really enjoyed that. Obviously, another 13 went down well. I'm just trying to think what others, particularly for the evening. I think we're still going to do an episode on LV Symphony. I've got a clone of that. That one smells really nice, but the performances weren't great. I'm trying to think what else there was. Oh, the Bulgari Manwood Neroli, that performed well. So that was very noticeable. But yeah, the Neroli is pretty strong in the high heat, I must admit. But that, on the whole, that I'd say they went pretty well. There was one night, I don't know why, I had hankering for Insidious or something like that, because I just knew that it smells fresh, clean, it would perform really well. I think I was really wanting something to wear in the evening that I knew would last and perform. Yeah. The Greenlee, as I say, did do that, but some of the others were really sort of struggling, where I knew Insidious would have performed well. So I think I sort of had a bit of a hankering. I did regret not taking that.
Well, did you put on anything that did you any favors other than smooth peanut butter?
No, I did not. I'm trying to think. I was going to think if I got any compliments on the fragrances. I think one day my wife commented that I smelled quite nice. Can't remember what it was. It might have been the LV Symphony, actually. I think she's commented that smelled nice, which it does. It's a very nice... I think we discussed we're going to do another episode. We'll do an episode on that. But no, I was pleased on the whole with my picks. I think in hindsight, I probably should have focused more on the evening fragrances rather than the daytime ones, because like I say, you just jumping in the pool, they don't last. They're just gone. It's a bit pointless wearing them, really, unless you're spraying them before you go for lunch or something, so which you're not really doing. So I think the lesson learned, I'd probably focus more on the evening ones, and maybe I'd just take a couple of sort of really summer fresh ones I don't care around and focus more on the slightly better performing ones if I do it again. Right. Shall we move on to my main disappointment?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because that was just a little tester, and I wanted to do it just because you recommended it. So, so this is the first one that came to mind. So, right, I'll read you the notes. Cumin, mandarin orange, coriander, tobacco, leather, labdanum, olibanum, agarwood or oud, sandalwood.
Ooh.
There's some notes going on there, isn't there?
Yeah. Very spicy sounding.
Yes. Pros, opulent and sensuous. Good longevity. Projects well. Complex and unique. Lasts longer than most scents from this fragrance house. I nearly gave away the brand then.
Oh, okay.
Nice fragrance. I mean, that is a very bland pro. It's a nice fragrance.
Yeah.
Cons, not as soft as other fragrances from this house. Strong cumin note may be off-putting. Thick and dark oud heavy fragrance for some. Expensive for what it is. Mandarin note barely noticeable. This one's great. Dirty ashtray scent for some. Poorly composed with screechy synthetics. Similar to other tobacco fragrances on the market.
Interesting. Is this a Tom Ford?
It is not a Tom Ford.
Okay.
It is niche, though.
I don't know.
Right. I will read you a review. Actually, I've just seen another review from Miru, which is very much my opinion, so perhaps I'll read that next. But Lions, Tigers, Bears, Oh My said, unfortunately, my first impression of this fragrance is a dirty ashtray next to a bowl of orange potpourri in a smoker's filthy apartment. It's a little more tolerable after the dry down, but overall, it's a scrubber for me.
Wow.
I mean, that's harsh, isn't it?
All right. What's your opinion on it?
Well, Miru had a similar opinion to me. So Miru on Fragrantica said, I was very much looking forward to this because I love tobacco and mandarin, as do I. This, however, is very thick, dark, oud heavy fragrance. Too much for my liking. Try before you buy. It's not what one would expect. So I very much agree with that. I very much like the notes of tobacco and mandarin. I was slightly confused how they might go together. I think Tom Ford's Noir Extreme is kind of almost got a mandarin and a sort of fake. It's not got like a phantom tobacco note. There's no tobacco listed. So I really enjoy that fragrance, but I was a bit confused how the tobacco and mandarin would go together. But when I smelt it, the mandarin isn't very noticeable. It's quite sort of smoky, and the oud is very noticeable. So it just meant it was really not my vibe. Really not my vibe at all. The tobacco and mandarin, I was like, oh, this is me, but no, not my vibe.
Oh, man.
So should I do the big reveal?
Yes. What is it?
It's a Byredo fragrance.
Okay.
And it's tobacco mandarin from Byredo.
We both picked ones with names that are like the exact thing we were expecting.
Exactly that. I mean, talk about very just dumb creatures that we are. Like, ooh, tobacco mandarin. I like
Sounds
it.
great.
I will get it. Yeah, I bought a sample. So I bought like a 1 mil sample because it's really fucking expensive. Let me just do a little price check on tobacco mandarin from Byredo. 280 pounds. That's for 50 mil. 50 millilitres, 280.
Ooh.
That is fucking pricey. So that's why I literally bought like a 1 mil sample of this. And I smelt it. There's a video on my YouTube channel if anybody wants to go and watch it. It's a long time ago. And yeah, it just wasn't, it was very smoky in the opening. The mandarin wasn't noticeable. The oud was prominent, and I'm not a big oud kind of guy.
Yeah.
It dried down. It did improve a little bit in the dry down, but ultimately it was just that this is not for me. It's that classic. I can see some people might like it. It's quite complex. There's a lot going on, but way overpriced and just not me. It's too challenging to wear.
Well, that is 3 really fragrances that we were so disappointed with. If you're a Patreon and you're listening to this, get in the community chat. Let us know what was like the most disappointing blind buy, or what's something that you were anticipating for so long, and then whenever you smelled it, you were completely let down. We want to know.
Yeah, I'm really curious because I don't know about you, Mike, I've done a lot of blind buying in my time. A lot. There was a point where I was getting a bit of a kick out of it. It's like almost like gambling, isn't it?
Right,
so it was a really bad habit to get into.
Definitely that.
Do not recommend blind buying, but I've done it a lot. And a few times I've rolled the dice and it's worked really well. I remember Bulgari's Man Black Cologne, which is like quite a tuberose heavy. That was a blind buy and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's one of my favourite fragrances. But there's numerous ones that I've smelt, and again, sometimes it's like, well, I don't hate it, but I just don't love it. I'm not going to bother keeping it. So there's not many that I've hated, I'd say. Yeah. But do you feel like, again, I'd say I've got to the point where typically I know the sort of notes and the sort of fragrances I might like or might not. Are you at that point now? Obviously aquatics are a very big risk for you. Yeah. Any other notes? Tonka maybe? Or you said you like Tonka, so have you changed your mind, or is it musk?
Well, I think it was that I liked Tonka, but I didn't really get what I thought I was going to get out of Tonka 25. Yeah, but yeah, I'm typically, you and I are the same way. If it's fresh and citrusy, we're going to probably fucking love it. If it's sweet and tobacco-y, we're probably going to love it. But some of these other notes that people can really get into, like the ouds or the cumin or that sort of stuff. If it's not like sweet, ambery, citrusy, fresh, I'm probably not gonna be initially gravitated toward it.
Do you remember that fragrance that Barry Sensualized? Shout out to Barry.
Yes.
Go and check him out
on
YouTube and Instagram.
I was just talking about this story. Yeah, I was just telling someone this story.
Go and check out Barry's YouTube channel. He's bigger. I think he's got a bigger following on Instagram, but he's on TikTok as well. He's got one of the biggest collections. He just buys everything,
Yeah.
just because he loves it. He's absolutely so passionate about it. But I can't even remember what the fragrance was, and it's probably for the best because we don't want to shit on it. But he got us to smell this fragrance at Essence. This brand was there. They had a stand. He's like, oh, come and try this. He's like, when I first smelt it, it's a bit unsure, but when it dries down, I think he said it was strawberry, wasn't it? I think he said the strawberry note comes through.
Yeah. And he said he had 2 or 3 bottles of it.
Yes, he got a second bottle. I don't know if it's because he got a deal or whatever. And bear in mind, the owner of the brand, I don't know if he was the creator. I don't think so. I don't think he was like the sort of perfumer, but probably creative director maybe. I don't know. He was the owner of the brand. He was standing there and he sprayed this on. And I took a big fucking whiff of this thing. Yeah. Jesus Christ. My eyes are like watering. I'm trying to like hold in this sort of grimace in front of this guy, like, oh, fuck it. It was like he would just shat on my chest. It was like, it's like fucking hell. It was so intense. Brutal.
Yeah, the funniest part is you and I go to leave the tester on the desk. And Barry goes, no, you got to take it with you so you can smell the dry down. And you and I were like, oh, okay. We pick him up. And as soon as Barry turned his back, we put him back down on the desk.
Yeah, we're like, fuck it. He's torturing us. He's like,
yeah.
I mean, in his defense, I think he did smell it 5 minutes later or whatever. I can't remember. And I think there was a strawberry note that did come through. But even so, there was... mate, there was nothing that could have saved that. It could have smelt of fucking Kelly Brook and it would not have fucking saved that fragrance, to be honest. It was cool. That was challenging. Yeah. That was very challenging.
Was one of the worst, not intentionally bad fragrances, because sometimes we'll smell ones that are like these concept fragrances and they're intentionally supposed to smell.
Magnifique or something like that.
And somber and stuff like that. But this one, I think, was intended to be a nice smell, and you and I both were gagging on this thing.
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, Barry likes it now, doesn't he? He's got 2 bottles, but perhaps it's an acquired taste. But again, something like that is just far too challenging for me. I don't want people smelling that and going, fucking hell, he smells like a fucking someone's just mucked out a horse's stable. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that. So
yeah, not for me.
While eating strawberries. Yeah. That's not my vibe.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Anyway, listeners, if you've got some stories like that, or if you've got a blind buy that's found, we'd love to hear about it. Yeah. But other than that, I think that's us, isn't it, Mike?
That's it. Yeah. And until next time, stay healthy and spray healthy.